Welcome to Shelterhouse Shares on MCTV. We've been doing a three-part series for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We've talked with the courts, the law enforcement, and today we're going to talk about Shelterhouse's advocacy services. And with me today, I have two of my co-workers, and I'd like them to introduce themselves.
My name is Vicki Wakeman. I'm a client advocate at Shelterhouse. I've worked there for the past 3.5 years, and mainly I work with residents doing whatever they need, whether it be working with them on education or DHS claims or trying to help navigate the legal system. We work to serve them.
I'm Mary Beth Amon Niemeyer. I'm the court liaison. I work with residents and non-residential individuals regarding anything having anything to do with either a criminal case they may be the victim of, divorce case, custody case, try to find them attorneys, make them aware of the laws and how the court system works. Victims, when they find themselves a survivor of domestic violence and there's a criminal case, they have no idea what comes next, what to do, and who to talk to. So I help with that.
Thank you. I'm going to start by talking about domestic violence. And in our world, when we refer to domestic violence, we refer to intimate partner violence, which is a pattern of behavior, of abuse of one person on another between intimate partners. We know that 1 in 4 people will experience domestic violence at some point in their life, women. 85% of domestic violence victims are women, but we also know that less than 25% of them are reported to law enforcement. So, what does Shelterhouse do? Is what we're going to talk about. What programs and services do we offer? And often, when people think about Shelterhouse, they think about shelter. They think about the place people come to be safe. And they only know about shelter. They don't know about the other services that we offer, but actually less than 20% of our clients ever lived in the shelter. So, but for those who do need shelter, we're going to talk about that first. So Vicki, what is the importance? Why is it important that we offer shelter services?
Well, Jane, as you said, shelter offers a place of safety. In the words of one of my clients, when she heard that door close behind her, it was the first time that she had felt safe in years. So in addition to that safety factor, it also allows us to work one-on-one very closely with our residential clients. What you mentioned earlier about working with a wide variety of needs, we can work very intensely with our shelter clients. Not only that, the women that are in shelter at the same time form strong bonds. It's very much a support system, and it's a place to start healing and start moving forward. They lean on each other, they lean on us, and they also lean on their other support systems. But you see people come together and support one another, and they understand what the other person is going through. We see our shelter clients blossom.
So a lot about safety, and whether it's emotional safety, physical safety, whatever it might be, that's provided by Shelterhouse. And we talk a lot about safety planning. So I want to talk about what is safety planning, why is it important, what do we do, what's it look like? So Mary Beth, can you answer that question for us?
I can get started. We do a lot of things regarding safety planning, and it's really tailored to the individual client and their circumstances. So for instance, when I'm involved with a criminal case, somebody becomes arrested and goes to jail. The first thing I'm going to do is put them on VineLink, so I can tell when that individual gets out of jail.
So what's VineLink?
VineLink is a victim information network every day. It's a tool we have, came about around 10 years ago. And what it will do is it will contact the victim and contact me if I register my information and tell me the minute the booking sergeant begins to do the paperwork to release the individual.
Okay.
That way the survivor of this crime isn't caught at home without any protections when an angry individual is getting out of jail.
Okay.
Very often the judge will put a no-contact bond in place, but it doesn't always get honored. If you can convince her or him, whoever the victim is, to decide not to testify, you might be able to get the crime to go away. If we have a client that's actively living in a circumstance and it's decided to leave before that happens, Then we tell them things like, get your family pictures out of there if they're precious to you. Grab the children's birth certificates. For my piece, when I help someone with a divorce, I need tax statements. And we also need them for the front of the court to figure child support.
So a lot of planning.
And keep a phone available so you can call 911 no matter what. If somebody takes your phone from you and won't let you call, any cell phone, as long as it's charged, doesn't have to have a provider service attached, it will call 911. I've had clients whose children called 911 with the secret phone. Keep a bag so you've got underwear, socks, and the basics needed for you and the children in the car in case you just have to grab the keys and go.
What are some other examples of safety planning that you might help someone put in place?
It depends on the situation.
Okay.
Depending on what that client needs will depend on what we do to help serve them. Whether it's encouraging someone to bury an extra set of car keys in a coffee can outside that they can get to in an emergency. Or if there is a violent incident taking place, turning on their front porch light so their neighbor can get their children off the bus.
Yeah, get a code put together with the neighbors. We had a lady too who buried money in coffee cans all over the property. So when she could get back there, she had cash. 'Cause generally the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to cut off all family funds. So if you want diapers, you want food, you want a house to live in, you better tell the prosecutor, no, I will not cooperate.
So lots of different ideas depending on the situation. At Shelterhouse, we have a wide variety of services that we offer. What other sort of things do you do to help?
I honestly think this is our strength because we don't treat everyone with a one-size-fits-all plan. When someone comes in or meets with us for the first time, either residentially or non-residentially, we'll sit down with them and figure out where they're at and what they need. Whether it's helping with education, either for themselves or for their children, finishing a GED, connecting them with continuing education classes at one of our local community colleges, working to help navigate the systems with DHS and other collaborations between different organizations in our area, helping to put together rent money or down payments for a new apartment, the safety planning that Mary Beth talks so much about. It really depends on whatever they need. We work extensively with other agencies in the area, trying to do what we can.
We do things that come up that nobody else will help with. I remember looking for funds and finding the funds so a client's daughter who was with us for her graduation year, almost working with us, to get a yearbook. Mom did not have the money, and father was not willing unless the daughter left mother and came home. So we've done things like find donors that would give us a prom dress and someone else to buy the shoes so a young lady could go to her senior prom because the funds were cut, mother didn't have the money. It's kind of just their life needs. We try to help them establish a new life, but the small incidentals that are also a part of that life, we've helped them with those sort of things too. On any given day, I have no idea what I'm going to be asked to do.
The Thrival needs, helping children go to camp in the summer or providing a yearbook, figuring out what to do with the family pets so someone can leave shelter safely, working with different boarding facilities in the area or agencies to help find money to pay for boarding or help pay for dog food, cat food, things like that.
Right.
So there's really no one concrete answer.
Yeah, what I hear you saying is each day, each time you do an advocacy, a service, it's as unique as that individual that you're working with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you connect people with those resources, it's amazing how that happens. Staff all working together, sharing resources, figuring out, oh yeah, I heard about this. I've heard you guys talk so much about things back and forth like that, and all the different things that you do to work together. And I know it takes a village. It takes the whole staff. It takes a whole organization to come together to support. Can you talk a little bit about and clarify maybe how you work with community partners? I know, Vicki, you said you might pick up the phone and call another organization.
Midland, we are incredibly fortunate.
Yes,
we
are.
live in a very, very generous community. Financially, time donations, people coming out and volunteering, or transporting people to and from various appointments that they need. But we are incredibly blessed in our community. We work with churches to find money for rent, as I said earlier, car repair, money for children. Money is a big issue when it comes to domestic violence.
It is.
And the lack of funds is something that we work with every day. Also thinking outside of the box, different creative solutions. If this doesn't work with one person, okay, what can we do to figure out how to make it work? And we work with very generous people outside of our own agency. Churches, United Way, the Volunteer Center.
Yeah, people donate furniture, clothes, pots, pans, glasses. When you run in the middle of the night with the children and the necessities, you don't bring the range with you. You don't grab the refrigerator on the way out of the door.
Washer and dryer or whatever.
And so we have people that will donate these things. I'm thrilled to death about the resale shop. Just this week, I had a lady who needs a work uniform. She needs khaki pants and black pants in a woman's size 16. That didn't come in with our recent things that were in the room, conference room. But when we had the resale shop, I can have her write down the list and we can go shopping.
Yeah.
And then I know she can get to work every day and she'll be in a proper uniform. And we will know that they'll have curtains for the front windows and sheets for the beds. We've been working with our community, not saying that they don't provide, but it'll be a lot easier when it's there when we need it, instead of sometimes something will come in and I'll see and I'll say, where was this a month ago when I needed it?
Right, right.
I know.
It's going to be very empowering for them to be able to go and have a shopping experience and select the items that they'd like.
Right. And sometimes the ladies will bring things to us, because I've had ladies bring clothes, children's things, school supplies. They're set now. They're doing pretty well, and they want to give back.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, when someone is assaulted, they're a victim of a crime, but we often refer to them as a survivor. So Mary Beth, can you talk a little bit why do we refer to them as a survivor rather than, because they are a victim of a crime. What's the difference in the language?
There's no power in victim. A victim is somebody who's been abused, killed, hurt, harmed, taken unaware, unfairly treated. When someone chooses to be a survivor, there's power in survivorship. That is someone who says, do what you will, I'm not going down. That's the person that says, no matter how hard it is, I'm testifying. I'm going to get beyond this. I'm going to live beyond this day. And I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to be healthy. I tell my clients all the time, if you want to upset the other fellow who's trying to bring you down, be successful. It costs you nothing. It makes you happy. You go forward and you live in the future and not in the past. So that's why we call them survivors.
Okay. So thinking about services besides shelter that Shelterhouse offers, Vicki, can you talk about advocacy and group services?
Shelterhouse offers a number of group services, whether you're a residential client or one of our non-residential clients. We have a non-residential support group that meets once a week, that meets at Shelterhouse, and it's made up of people from all over the county, actually, coming together, supporting one another, and sharing stories. It's a way of healing and moving forward. We also offer group meetings twice a week if you're staying with us in shelter. And as part of both of those groups, there's an educational piece, learning about the dynamics of domestic violence, but also what Mary Beth was just talking about, how to move forward from a victim to a survivor. We work with other agencies. The Juvenile Care Center, we have groups there in the summer about safe dating techniques and also helping with children there who have witnessed trauma work through their own trauma. We work with the ARC as far as a healthy relationships class for their clients. So we offer many, many different groups in many different settings.